All right, check this out. The man who was supposed to be our commander-in-chief just made a fool of himself on the world stage, and I'm going to bring in contributor Chris Mowrey to break this down. You guys love him. He loves you. So check this out.
All right, Donald Trump just finished speaking at Fort Bragg, and this speech was supposed to be in celebration for the Army's 250th birthday, but obviously, knowing Donald Trump, he made it hyper-partisan, just spewed a bunch of garbage, a bunch of misinformation, look, just all over the place in this speech. And I've lined up a few clips that we're going to react to together. I actually haven't seen these, so we'll play them, you'll get my real-time reaction, we'll talk a little bit about them. Should be an interesting time, knowing Donald Trump and some of his more recent speeches that have really gone off the rails. Listen, really quickly, my name's Chris Mowrey. I'm filling in for Adam Mockler on the Adam Mockler channel. If you enjoy this type of content, the link to my YouTube channel will be in the description. You guys have shown so much love over there on my channel. It truly means the world. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers, which is crazy. I appreciate each and every one of you. And also for this channel, like I say every time, we're trying to build something big, punch back against MAGA. Democrats have been struggling a little bit in media lately, so Adam and I and some other people trying to uplift Gen Z voices, figure out how we can help. And if you want to be a part of that growing community, all you have to do is click like and subscribe down below. That's it. All right, let's take a look here at the first clip, play it, and we'll talk about it.
And before going further, I want to say a few words about the situation in Los Angeles, California. Have you heard of the place? Where I've deployed thousands of National Guard troops and hundreds of Marines to protect federal law enforcement from the attacks of a vicious and violent mob. And some of the radical left, they say, oh, that's not nice. Well, if we didn't do it, there wouldn't be a Los Angeles. It would be burning today, just like the houses were burning a number of months.
That is so absurd. Okay, a couple things here. As I predicted, and I'm sure everybody knew that Donald Trump was going to make this speech, A, about himself, but B, also hyper-political. Like, he's on a military base right now, giving a practical campaign speech, which is really just disgusting on so many levels. And again, it's supposed to be a celebration for the Army's 250th birthday, kind of like the parade is supposed to be a celebration of the Army's birthday, but it also coincides perfectly with Donald Trump's birthday because everything's about Trump. But also, again, absurdity. Los Angeles would be burning. The National Guard that he has deployed in the Marines, he hasn't even invoked the Insurrection Act, meaning they're essentially just standing watching what's going on. He's creating this spectacle, inflaming tensions. We haven't even gotten anywhere near, not even close to near, the need for the federal government to be involved here. So just what a outright lie that Los Angeles would be burning. Just so grossly no, absolutely not. Let's go to the next clip here. Let's take a listen.
Bring them in the cars that are going by. These are animals, but they proudly carry the flags of other countries, but they don't carry the American flag. They only burn it. Did you see a lot of the flags being burned? They weren't being burned by people from our country or from people that love our country. People that burn the American flag should go to jail for 1 year. That's what they should be doing. 1 year. And we'll see if we can get that done. We're going to try and get that done. We're working with some of your senators. I know Senator Josh Hawley is very much involved. And I know the two senators from here. I think are you guys in favor of it? Boy, would this be a bad time for them to say no. I got you. I got those two votes. The agitation.
Wow. I mean, look, we've heard Donald Trump say this before. But again, I think the fundamental difference here between Democrats and Republicans right now on any level, elected Republicans, elected Democrats, just a general basis is and I always say this, and I'm not trying to make a giant generalization, but one side has a set of principles and the other side just believes in nothing. And the real Republican Party, as many of you know, died 10 years ago. The party with any type of values at all. And so now it's just all about one man. And it's truly stunning to see the party of small government, the don't tread on me, one of the most important kind of factors, motivating factors for a lot of conservatives in the last few years has been government overreach, protection of, the Constitution, the Second Amendment. And we're talking about the government arresting people and charging them for burning a flag, which regardless, again, of how you potentially feel about that, if you're a person of principle, then you believe that, you have a First Amendment right to, if you're, obviously not, the fire's not causing harm to other people, blah, blah, but there's like, you have a First Amendment right to do that. You have a First Amendment right to fly, the German flag from the 1940s. I'm going to be, disgusted and staunchly opposed. But if you're flying that down the street, I'm also going to fight for the fact that the government shouldn't arrest you for that. Because, again, one side has principle, the other side has none. And it's really gross to see us, move toward this realm of authoritarianism. It's truly, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. All right, let's go to the next clip here. Let's take a listen.
For a little breaking news, we are also going to be restoring the names to Fort Pickett, Fort Hood, Fort Gordon, Fort Rucker, Fort Polk, Fort A.P. Hill, and Fort Robert E. Lee. We won a lot of battles out of those forts. It's no time to change. And I'm superstitious, I like to keep it going, right? I'm very superstitious. We want to keep it going. So that's a big story. We just announced that today to you for the first time. They said, why didn't you wait till Saturday? I said, I can't wait. I got to talk to my friends here today. This is a record crowd. You never had a crowd this big. That's an honor. You think this crowd would have showed up for Biden? I don't think so. I don't think so.
First of all, the end there, again, becoming like a hyper-political speech all about Trump. I draw the biggest crowds, I, a narcissist. But also, wow, what a staunch difference in contrast between these two clips, right? We're talking about burning the American flag, you hate our country, and we're renaming things to people who committed treason. Those are people who were part of the Confederacy, who led the Confederacy, who committed treason against the United States of America and then lost. And what a staunch! It's like he doesn't believe in the Constitution. He doesn't even believe in anything, any of the values America holds. And the fact that we're renaming things to literal treasonous, who hate America, who hated America, is insane. Wow. Okay. A couple more here. Let's take a listen.
D.C., a lot of people said, we don't want to do that. I say, yeah, we do. We want to show off a little bit. Recently, other countries celebrated the victory of World War I. France was celebrating, really. They were all celebrating. The only one that doesn't celebrate is the USA, and we're the ones that won the war. Without us, you'd all be speaking German right now. Maybe a little Japanese thrown in. But we won the war. And we don't celebrate, but we're going to celebrate on Saturday, and we're going to celebrate from now on. We're going to celebrate our greatness and our achievements.
Wow. Somebody needs to teach the President of the United States U.S. history, because that's not World War I. The Japanese, the U.S. was fighting. Okay, nice. Again, if Biden ever said that, mixed up World War I and II, it would be nonstop coverage, wall to wall, for days about his cognitive decline. I highly doubt anybody's talking about that right now. Nobody cares. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Two more here.
You don't have to take this if you don't want. You could be great patriots. Say, I don't want to raise. I will not accept it. Let it go back into our country. Let's give it to Gavin Newsom so he can waste it in Los Angeles. No, we don't want to do that.
It's just it's obviously Donald Trump is a child, and it's so stunning that our politics have become like high school, especially with this group of people like Donald Trump, Elon Musk, this back and forth on Twitter. Everybody thinks this is like a game, like a drama TV show. This is people's lives at stake, And it's just so disgraceful to have the leader of the free world be giving a hyper-political speech like this to this crowd, but also, really, Gavin Newsom, really. Donald Trump is such a loser. All right, last one here. Let's take a listen.
Within the span of a few decades, Los Angeles has gone from being one of the cleanest, safest, and most beautiful cities on earth to being a trash heap with entire neighborhoods under the control of transnational gangs and criminal networks. It's horrible.
It's just not true, right? It's just not true. Fundamentally, what he's saying right now, not true. Not true. Los Angeles is a great place. It's nowhere near what he's describing here. And again, as we watch in the United States us struggle to get out of this time, which I fundamentally believe we will, but a lot of it just comes down to just the flood of misinformation, lies, over-exaggeration from Donald Trump that effectively won him his first term and has got us to this point. It's killing our society. And so many people watch this. It floods through the airways. Los Angeles is just it's like a war zone, but Donald Trump saved it or something. It's always been a war zone. It is a war zone because of it's a blue city. It's just like a fundamental lie. And it goes out and people, Republicans are all like, yeah. And nobody seems to care that he just outright lies all the time. I know I'm telling you something that you think about all the time, but insane. Again, it's always about Donald Trump. The whole thing was about Trump, how he's better than Biden, crowds are better, he saved everybody. What a disgrace. Listen, we're going to keep fighting the good fight. I know sometimes you can feel down. I feel down often about a lot of this going on. It feels overwhelming, but remember, Donald Trump wants you to feel overwhelmed. He wants you to feel like there's nothing you can do, and there is. I promise we can get through this time one day at a time. Keep fighting, keep using your voices, call your representatives, make sure you're registered to vote. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like down below. Once again, my name is Chris Mowrey, filling in for Adam Mockler. If you enjoy this type of content, the link to my YouTube channel will be in the description down below. And again, on this channel, trying to uplift Gen Z voices, talk a lot, pump out a lot of content about stuff like this, bring the good fight. And if that's something you want to be a part of on this channel, just have to hit subscribe down below, join the community. We love all of you so much. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.